Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we want to continue our Blue Mage job quest. Last time we learned that Martin was trying to help the Valaki, the inventors of blue magic, because they were suffering under an epidemic, probably brought by immigrants from Eorzea, and the cure for that is rather expensive, and so he more or less grudgingly took on the help of his former compatriot Vastrak, but let's see where that leads us. Latulja. What else? The Real Fork Blues. That's where you learn Glower, yes? When Desiree succeeded. Just as Martin said. Latulja will tell Martin. You did it, Desiree. You've done me proud, and that's not the only cause for celebration. I received a missive saying that Vastrak was good as his word. The medicine worked and Valaki are saved. Martin, I've been looking everywhere for you. Shadow? How did you get here? Never mind that, I have something urgent to tell you. There's this Shadow, the Valaki Chirurgeon I told you about. He learned to speak the common tongue of Eorzea and... Will you listen? It's Vastrak. He brought the medicine. Everyone with the disease has been cured. But he wasn't content to simply give it to us. He used to lay claim to Lapis Canyon. But why would he? Of course, the ceruleum. Lapis Canyon is sacred ground and glows a bright blue because of all the ceruleum beneath the surface. That bastard was after it from the beginning. He must be at a processing plant. Come on, Sada. Let's go. Martin, stop! Very quick for a man who lie in bed for many days. Can Desiree go with him? I worry that Martin bite off more than Martin can swallow. Or is that Joe? As far as Latulja know, processing plant in northern Fanalan. Make sure Martin not do anything stupid. The Valaki have lived in the light of Lapis Canyon for generations. We can't let it be destroyed by Vastrak's men. Why must he be so stubborn? You only gave him the medicine so he could steal Lapis Canyon. Steal? Don't speak to me like some common thief. I won't deny that obtaining the ceruleum was my primary concern, but we signed an agreement. It's all perfectly legal, I assure you. You know full well that the elders can't read Eorzean. You told them that if they didn't sign the contract, they couldn't have the medicine. And besides, your laws doesn't apply to the Valaki. Even so, I expect your elders to honor the promise they made, legally binding or not. Perhaps you've forgotten that the medicine that was paid for and produced by my company. Before the negotiations began, I had already spent vast amounts to manufacture a large enough shipment to treat everyone. I saved your tribe from annihilation. This is how you pay me? I've given you all a second chance to lead healthy, productive lives. You took advantage of our suffering so you could plunder the thing most precious to us. Since the time of my ancestors, Lapis Canyon has been at the center of our beliefs, of everything we do. Beliefs, come now, don't be absurd. That blue substance you call lifeblood of a planet is ceruleum, a type of fuel. It's not doing any good just sitting there underground. Once I open my mine in Lapis Canyon, I hope to employ the Valaki, offering all an opportunity to earn a proper wage. When you realize what you've been missing all this time, you soon forget about your superstitions. How bloody dare you! Who are you to call them superstitions? This is their way of life and all you want to do is destroy it for the sake of your own greed. I'm doing more for Vallaki than you ever will. I'm giving them a chance to build a better future for themselves. They can either be part of a modern world or be left behind. That's not your decision to make. What about the medicine? That was a product of the Eorzean society. Without it, they'd all be dead. And another thing, my investor funded its production for a share of a profit from my new world enterprise. Darlings, darlings, there's no need to squabble. I admit it, I'm Vastrak's backer. It all started when I told him about Martin's plan to save the Vallaki from the epidemic. You see, the prospect of trading with a new world sounded rather promising. Though this is the first I've heard of a cerulean mine. Expanding into new regions often leads to resistance from the locals, but this is far beyond what I was expecting, Vastrak. I don't like being kept in the dark. I'm seriously considering withdrawing from our deal. That said, I can see this being a worthwhile venture, providing that the Vallaki are not being exploited. But I also agree with Martin that their way of life should not be disrupted. As you can see, this leaves me with a difficult choice. Which is why I propose that the two of you settle this in the arena. Vastrak, you are Blue Mage yourself, correct? I'm indeed. But I should warn you, Martin was never a match for me, even before he was chewed up and spat out by one of your pets. Then perhaps it's time for his apprentice, Azure II, to make her grand debut. I can picture it now, the ultimate clash of blue magic. The loyal disciple of a great Azure faces a mysterious challenger to determine who's the superior spellcaster. If Desiree wins, I cut off my funding for the Lapis Canyon project, and the land will return to their original owners. And if Vastrak is victorious, Martin must act as intermediary for the Vallaki and persuade them to agree to the development. Royce, you can do what you like with that money of yours, but you can't expect me to go along with this. For such an old-fashioned sort of fellow, Martin seems to forget that disputes such as these have been decided by combat since ancient times. I, for one, have no objections. Count me in. What about the Vallaki? They should be ones to decide their own fate, not us. You're right, Martin, but we have a similar tradition. When two sides cannot reach an agreement, a representative from each takes part in a contest of strength. Ideally, one of my people would be chosen, but we are Eorzea and I have no choice but to ask you to participate on our behalf. So, will you do it, Desiree? I fight for what is right. Very gallant of you, my dear. The crowd will lap it up. First things first. Let's get you two of you into your costumes and take a look at the magic of yours. I want to know what my audience will be getting when the big day arrives. Come along. Once you've both changed into your new costumes, I'll see you in the arena. This way, my darlings. Desiree, my dear, are you ready? And normally we have a head like Martin wore in this costume. But because I'm aware that can't be shown, of course. Mind Blast. 1,000 needles. Glower. But you missed. No, Gahil did not think so. Wonderful, my dear. It seems a new hero is born. Now it's Vastrak's turn. Pay close attention to her costume, darlings. It's my finest creation yet. Corruption. Mountain Buster. Such power. Not bad. The Dread Warlock who transcends dimensions of time and space. Azulmagia. Why must I be the villain? It's all part of the act, my dear. What would be more thrilling than an epic struggle between good and evil? You mean to tell me Vastrak is inside that thing? And why is he floating? For dramatic effect, of course. If you must know, it's a cerulean levitation device. Surprisingly cheap too. Apparently there's not much practical application for the ability to float a few ilms off the ground. I'm still not convinced it's entirely necessary, and the costume is rather more flamboyant than I would have liked. But if I'm going to do this, I may as well enjoy myself. I'll show the audience what real blue magic looks like. That's what I like to hear. It's sure to be a performance we'll never forget, right here at the Masked Carnival. Not to put too fine a point on it, Desiree, my dear, but I think you'd benefit from some practice before starring in the main event. Trade all you want. It will make no difference. Lapis Canyon is mine. Even has the role of a villain down, right? I'd say you're ready to take part in the Masked Carnival. Although, I'd recommend testing your skills against less challenging opponents before facing Azulmagia. I've gathered quite a menagerie of exotic beasts, but you should choose with care. We tried to call an end to the performance before either side incurs any serious injury, but as Martin will attest, accidents can happen. Once you feel confident in your abilities, say the word and we'll grant you and Azulmagia the opportunity to settle this feud. Until then, fight well, but don't do anything rash. I might struggle to find another replacement Blue Mage. That voice, she's a real piece of work, ain't she? I suppose if I'd seen this coming, we wouldn't be in this mess. It's up to you now, Desiree. He's right. If only I hadn't been damn near killed in that bloody show. I could have dealt with him myself. Well, I'd like to think I'd have a chance of winning, but he was always a better mage. To be honest though, I think we got a real talent for blue magic. In fact, you shouldn't be scared of Vastrak. He should be scared of you. With the right spells, I reckon you'll be able to take him down a peg or two. Now, get out there and show him what you're made of. Look at me, getting all worked up like that. Better head back before the Chirurgeon realizes I've gone. Hopefully I'll be allowed out of the infirmary to watch some of your performance as well. Best of luck. The Masked Carnival unlocked. Now, this is this one that unlocks, that gives you access to a masked carnival. You have a lot of potential fights. These fights are not just strength of skills or so on, but most are kind of puzzly. You need to make the right moves and have the right skills to overcome the monsters or something like that. What was it? Right, this one. We need the Toad Tonk skill to draw the slimes to the monster so the slimes explode once being hit. And these things have a ton of hit points, but the slimes also hit the monsters. So you drag them where they need to go to kill the others, or you have a problem with time. And down here is Dirty Rotten Azulmagia as the last of the challenges. Good. Alright, had a little cut. Now, I just looked up to remember what Azulmagia, what is needed for this particular puzzle. Now, from what I've seen, you need some magic attack. Something that you can keep spamming. The water cannon spell you start with is fine for that. I probably will use Sonic Boom just because it was slightly faster. Then you need any attack that can inflict physical damage in particular. There are not a lot of those. Here is everything I currently have. Now, Flying Frenzy might work, but it forces you into melee range of your enemy, and that might not always be the best case. Drill Cannon is great. Yeah, Flying Frenzy you get from the second boss of Pharaoh Sirius, of the Pharaoh Sirius dungeon. Drill Cannon is great. It's a line attack. You can learn it from the Magitech Vanguard H-2 in Northern Thunderland. Final Sting is not suitable because it kills you. Flying Sardine is too weak. Sticky Tongue does no damage. 1000 Needles has too long a cast time. Abyssal Transfixion is an option. You could gain it from the second boss in Hawkham Manor Heart, or a leather quest in the Dravanian Hinterlands. Yeah, Revenge Plus is too weak unless you have below 20% HP, which is risky. A triple trident has a cooldown, so it's not suitable, and Goblin Punch requires you to take on the Hobgoblins in Colusia, which is Shadowbringers. So you would need to be relatively high leveled for a boss you face at level 50. So I will use Drill Cannon. For that, then you need the spell Loom. I would like to see what... But they won't let me. Yeah, Northern Thunderland is what I recommend for Loom. This is the B rank hunt Sergeant Dalvak. You can get this from Northern Thunderland. I looked it quickly up. Apparently there are also mobs in Tamtara Heart, or in, what was the other one? Lost City? I forgot. Anyway, yeah. You need Loom. This is a teleport spell, basically. functions kind of like the Ninja Shikushi, just with a bit of a cast time. And otherwise, White Wind is probably a good ability to have, just to have some healing. You can gain that from Gahilja. And maybe Diamond Back. I don't think you need it, but it can help from the Stone Vigil Heart. But Diamond Back is always useful. It, for just a few seconds, makes you practically invincible. Good. Azulmagia. Now this will take some time, because this is really a boss that has a ton of HP. And he starts with Ice Spike, so you can't use physical attacks against him or you get slowed. Ram's Voice. And Dragon's Voice means you need to get close. Wait. Wait. Bladecracker, I think it sweats with him. Yeah, it does. Ram's Voice. Ouch, she hit me. Ram's Voice. First round. Of 3. Good. Now. Now Repelling Spray. Counter any magic attack. Attack the spears with a physical attack before they cause a, I think, burn effect. Here is where physical attacks come into play. Second round. And the thought. Good. Apocalypse War. With this. Keep your distance from these circles. They tend to grow a little bit. Also, I can't target. Crap. And I'm dead. Because I was too slow with doing this right. And that's how quick it goes. Now I need to do this entire thing again. That is, for the web is where we need the loom, because web basically completely stops you from moving. Good, back here. Okay, now he switches to magic. To physical resistance. Planescracker. Crap. Ooh, that worked surprisingly well. I have heard worse. And this is how the end stage looks. The stage, how long I take, what bonuses I received. Ain't got time to bleed is, I think, for no healing used. That's why it's so expensive. Too Fast, Too Furious is hitting the best time. The others I would need to look up. Good. Then. Once we've defeated this stage in the Masked Carnival, we can talk to Maudlin Liturgia. Desiree beat Azulmagia. Liturgia cannot believe it. I mean, I can believe it because Liturgia always believes in you. Anyway, well done. I cannot thank you enough. Lapis Canyon is safe. Nicely done, Desiree. That sack of Gobushite won't be bothering with Valaki anymore. Spectacular, stupendous, the performance of a lifetime. I never knew you had it in you, Desiree. Of course, I haven't forgotten about our agreement. As of today, I will be withdrawing my funding from the Cerulean Mine project. Fools, you think you have defeated me? This place will be your burial ground. I tricked you for a moment there, didn't I? I must admit I had grown rather accustomed to playing the villain, but enough is enough. fact is I lost our wager, so it's time I put an end to my plans for Lapis Canyon. I'm a businessman, not a monster. And I have you, Seada, and Martin to thank for reminding me of that. The New World is a vast, untamed land, and there are bound to be ways to acquire ceruleum without mining on sacred ground. Voices even agreed to fund my next expedition. I will be leaving by ship within the next few days. Seada, would you care to join me? With you as my guide, perhaps can avoid repeating the mistakes I made with the Valaki. You're serious, aren't you? I accept your offer, if only so that I can keep you away from our land. Actually, I've heard of several places similar to Lapis Canyon, to which no one has laid claim. Then you and I have much to discuss, but first I must prepare for a voyage. There's much to be done. I'll never forget you, Desiree. If you've ever had a chance to cross the Indigo Deep, you will always be welcome to stay with Valaki. Except they're not a zone yet. Hold your chocobos. As Azura of a second, there's no time to go gallivanting around the New World. You've got crowds to please, beasts to best, not to mention money to earn. Don't go away now, darling. I go through all the trouble of getting better and squeezing back into my costume, but it looks like you're her favorite now. Bloody charming that is. Mind you, the epidemic's over, so I don't need to dance to a tune anymore. So why is Martin still dressed as the Great Azuro? Well, there's no harm in earning a few gil while I think about my next move, is there? Latujas and Martin just like attention. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Something's occurred to me. All this business with the Great Azure and Azure II's got everyone talking about blue magic. Those stuffy old bookworks in the Arcanist Guild never listened to me before, but this ought to make them take notice. In fact, I'm thinking of opening a Blue Mage's Guild. Partly as a way of rubbing my old guildmates' noses in it for rejecting my research, but also to help spread the knowledge across Eorzea. I need a fair bit of guild to get the idea off the ground, though. All the more reason to carry on as the Great Azure. I show him that not even being half eaten by some beast can keep me down. Because there's room in the Celestium for both of us. After all, wouldn't deny my favorite and only apprentice a chance at fame and glory. Completed the main scenario quest Litany of Peace. I have no idea which one that was. To continue. Is that the end of 3.3 or something? I honestly don't know. Anyway, that was the, let's call it the Elwhelm Reborn part of this, of a Blue Mage quest. It used to be that there was a huge gap since, because Blue Mage as the first limited job only went to level 50 for the longest time. And at some point in the Shadowbringers patches they extended that. And then they extended an Endwalker again. And so the Blue Mage can currently go to level 80. But that will not be today. And I think I say, until next time, I'm Mace and don't get lost.